NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, Gunny, you're right, you should be, because basketball, give me the ball, because I want to dunk it, yeah! NBA Straya, it is Friday, November 14, all day TGIF, am I right? Tell you what, yeah, a bit dusty today after a few tins last night. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. Today, fun day. We only had 3 games, so today we're going to talk about AD trade chatter, which is pretty fun. We've got more injuries. We've got a big NBA Cup Saturday preview ahead, and we'll get our Week 4 power rankings, which will sort of expand on what we did in the little short you might have seen pop up. We'll wrap up those games. We've got That's Not an iPhone, Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Than Lonzo Ball. Got some good year Nazi, Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and Outback Takehouse, where we're serving up a flame grilled take. That's right. There is an Andrew Gaze Grey MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence, and a pick and preview for the NBA Cup games tomorrow, and a look ahead to Sunday as well. Lots to get into. Without further ado, we might even throw the newish Cooking with Bainesy on the end as well, if you're good. All right, let's do it. Episode 1319 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack!
You better watch out if you're a tin in about 45 minutes if you're me. Tell you what, hair of the dog time. That's right, a bit dusty. Had a good hang with a mate of mine yesterday. A few jars later, and you're sort of stumbling onto the train, getting home, and just going, whoa. So I don't know if you listened to yesterday's YouTube show, but wow, your mate Jim was a bit cooked. Having a beer whilst doing it as well, sort of just smoothed it all out. Anyway, but there was a big one yesterday. So if you're not checking out the YouTube shows as well, go check them out. They're the ones that pop up in the days that we don't have a big show on your podcast feed. As I mentioned, what we're going to do is probably swing our hosting, the back end stuff. You might remember last time I did this, it was just a giant pain in the balls. This time, I'm probably going to switch the hosting to like Spotify, etc. Which means those shows could also go up to Spotify as a video podcast. So that's what we might be doing. I'll try to do that probably starting next week. Good times, great memories. Anyway, but yeah, Jokic yesterday was absolutely insane. 55 points, absolutely sicko stuff. And Steph Curry dropping 46 like he's like not 427 years old. Pretty crazy. But let's start there with Steph with the daily whip around. Oh, is it a whip around at the gym? Yes! Steph Curry is done with Under Armour. So you might remember Chef Curry, old mate, has got these, kind of just daggy Under Armour shoes a lot of the time. But now the Curry brand has split from Under Armour after 13 years and will go it alone. Becomes a free agent, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. I've never been much of a, Curry Under Armour kind of fan. Like some of them have been, like some of those shoes have been fine. I don't know, like, a lot of the stuff I've really, really dug over the last couple of years, weirdly enough, as much as I hate his basketball, personality, James Harden's shoes, some of those have been unreal. What else was there? There's a couple of good ones. I think some of the Dames are pretty good too. Anyway. Right, so Under Armour. Steph Curry, no more. Radical. I'm currently wearing New Balance because I had to go walk and pick up the squid, right? And you've got to protect those knees and that bung Achilles of yours there, Jim. I know. Other news, injuries. Let's go. Jalen Brunson. Wop, wop, wop. So you saw him go down yesterday. Grade 1 ankle sprain, apparently. He's going to miss at least the game against Miami on Saturday, and he will be day-to-day from there on. That is just brutal for the Knicks, right? It's so weird in the East right now that they just need to keep on keeping on and just stay healthy and just like wax teams. Without Brunson, that gets a lot bloody harder for that team. Be interesting to see what they do. Josh Hart, willing, able replacement, I guess. Maybe you've got like a lot more Clarkson in the second unit. It's going to be interesting to see how they finagle it. I think they'll be okay. There's still a lot of talent on that team, right? But Brunson's obviously the straw that stirs the drink. So we'll see what happens. And the other one is Paolo Banchero, which stinks because he had an MRI on his groin, which confirmed, no doubt, that he's got a giant hog, but also that he has a left groin strain, probably from carrying around that hog of his. But he is also day-to-day, which, I don't know, as a day-to-day NBA pundit, is wildly frustrating. Just give me a start date. Give me a fin. And then I know that they're going to be like, well, look, it's a strain. We don't know how it's going to pull up. We'll give him a couple of days off. We'll go day to day. Rather than like, in a week's time, we'll check. So that's okay. But that stinks for Paolo. And Jalen Brunson. So we've just got a couple more stars, both in the East as well, in a conference that's already missing a bunch of folks. Like, it's crazy. But in the West, Zion, the big rig, he might be coming back soon. So that's kind of nice. He's been cleared for contact and basketball activities. And the last little bit of news after the Nico Harrison firing, you might remember me yelling about that a bit. He's going to pop up again later. But John Wall, amidst all the Anthony Davis chatter and even the Kyrie trade chatter, it's like vultures, right? Like, media is kind of like this. They sense vulnerability and they go, what about if this happens? And you're like, Jesus, just settle down. I'll talk about this again later in Outback Takehouse. But John Wall, noted newsbreaker, sure, has heard that Anthony Davis wants to go home to Chicago. You've been hearing he wants to go back to Chicago and see what's going on. I mean, he could just do that in the off season. He can just say, what's going on over there? What do you got there? Yeah, it's pretty nice. Soldier Field. Oh, yeah. There's Wrigley over there. Nice. Neat. I wonder if I can go see Pearl Jam. Anyway, Anthony Davis in Chicago. We'll talk about that later in the NLs. Hey, let's wrap up some games from today. Game wraps. Really quickly, Toronto just really, really manhandled Cleveland. Cleveland! On a back-to-back. Donnie Mitchell still had 31-6-6, but couldn't hit the side of a barn. Scotty Barnes had himself a game. It was unreal. 28, 10, 8, and 5 blocks. Sicko stuff. He was really good. Raptors just really put them to the sword in the second and the fourth quarters. Just Cleveland on a back-to-back. It's a bit tough. They're at home, though. Just, I don't know, cracks there. No Darius Garland again with his toe injury. Who knows what's going on? Toronto are now 7-5, and the Cavs are 8-5. Just saying. That's a big win for the Raptors. I picked them in, the NBA Coffee Run video this morning and on yesterday's short. So, I mean, I just expected them with that size. It feels like Toronto can sort of hang with anybody if they've got their head on right. That is the problem I feel like with the Raptors. So often they sort of like, if they're missing a dude, it all just falls apart. But if they got most of their dudes, they're kind of ship-shape. Cavs on a back-to-back. That size of the Raptors really bothered them. Indy fell very short against the Suns, 133-98, scoring 14 points in the fourth quarter. But the big one is, and I could have thrown this at the top, Aaron Naismith, the thing is we don't have like a confirmed thing. He went down very, very, very badly on his knee. It looked brutal. It sucked. He couldn't put any weight on it. Had to be helped off. Screamed in pain as it was happening. It was just brutal stuff for Aaron Naismith, who had only just come back. And like, this is not like one of those, it's a push-off. Like, he's like foot kind of like his just body goes one way, his leg goes that way, sort of slips out from under him. More unfortunate accident, I think, more than like underlying concern contributes to injury X. You know what I'm saying? But the Pacers were wearing these amazing jerseys and their game just did not match it. They got absolutely manhandled by this Suns team that is suddenly 8-5 and making me look like it and everybody else who doubted them like idiots. Flip side, I still don't know if the Suns are very good, right? But at least, look, Andy Nembhard came back the other day. He's like just this nice little bulwark, I guess, against complete mediocrity for the Pacers. But they're now 1-11, and they got absolutely steamrolled today. Like, Siakam couldn't get anything going. Nembhard shot 5 of 15. The rest of the team, like Jarris Walker, the less said about him, the better. But I mean, he's going to pop up again in a second because he went and, set a bit of a record today, at least for this year. Anyway, pretty crazy game to the point where I believe they shot 88 shots, did the Indiana Pacers. The Phoenix Suns shot 85. and won by 35 points. They shot 3 less shots from the floor and won by 35 points. Jim, how's that possible? They shot 2 less free throws. It was crazy. The biggest problem was 12 turnovers. I mean, yeah, that's not bad. But the Pacers went 7 of 25 from downtown, shot 36% from the floor. The Suns, 37%, hitting 13 threes, but 57.6% from all their shots. So they took 50 field goals and hit a buttload of them, 36. So not bloody bad on the twos. Very good job by the Suns. Pacers looking pretty shonky, 1-11. The defense is obviously the big problem. Giving up 133, not being able to hit any shots yourself, not great. And then finally, an absolute belter. This game was sick. Utah hosting Atlanta. Atlanta on a back-to-back. Ring up 132 on the Yaz. It's a soft J, who had 122, but it was tied going into the fourth quarter. Atlanta just really worked them because Jalen Johnson had one of the most insane games you'll see and was ably helped by Onyeka Okongwu, who had a career game for him as well. And everybody else was just solid, and the Yaz just could not keep up. What a game it was. So that's 133 points yesterday against the Kings, 132 points on a back-to-back in Utah. The most they scored with Trae Young in the lineup this year was 123 points, I think, in a loss, right? 128, actually, with Trae in a loss, right? They didn't win any games where they scored more. So they're doing something right without Trae Young. And this is probably the most interesting aspect of all of this stuff from today, is that Atlanta, Jalen Johnson's taking this huge step up. He looks absolutely unreal. Okongwu as a starter, without the extreme zinger meal there today, who I don't really know if they need.
Extreme zinger meal.
He was absolutely unreal. He's been rebounding awesomely. He played great. You've still got Risa Shea. You've got Dyson Daniels. You've got all this talent. And without Trae, without the extreme zinger meal when he's not supercharged,
Supercharged zinger burger.
Might be more of a hindrance than a help. They look awesome. Oh, it also helps that Vic Krejci is hitting every shot he's taking, ever. It's nuts. Anyway, the Hawks are now 8-5, 6-2 away. 6-2 on the road. That is absolutely wild. The Yaz dropped to 4-8. Lowry was incredible. He dropped 40. Keontae George, though, a little bit too inefficient in a surprise twist. And who else? Yeah, they just couldn't really get much going at all. It was just Lowry. Keontae ends up with 19 points. But, Jim, that's not bad. Yeah, he took 19 shots to get there. So here we are, right? Nurk drops in another almost a triple-double, a double-double, 10, 10, 8, 6 turnovers, 5 steals. Chaos game. Anyway, the Jazz kind of stink. Let's do an NBA Straya Pro performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
We got some awesome games. As I mentioned, Scotty Barnes, Scoob, 28 points. He shoots 12 of 22. He goes for 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 blocks and a steal. That was an awesome win for the Raptors as well. Scotty Barnes, crushing it. Lowry drops 40. He goes 6 of 12 from downtown, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, not bad. But come on, this has got to go to Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu today. Jalen Johnson has a triple-double and sets career highs in points, rebounds, assists, and he had 7 steals. He had 31 points, 18 rebounds, 14 assists, and 7 steals. That's just taking the piss. He is absolutely unreal. Oh, Lord. Oh, I don't know how much more of this I could take. I mean, seriously.
This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. And then Onyeka Okongwu, he had 32 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Bloody hell, he made 8 threes, Onyeka Okongwu. He just turned into bloody 6'11" Steph Curry out of absolutely nowhere. That was awesome. What a pair of performances. To drop 32 and 31 in a game, a couple of big men against the Yaz. It's worth keeping an eye on the Yaz as well. Without Walker Kessler, their defense is not great. 5 steals today for Nurk, and they still lose by 10. That sort of stuff. That's 5 possessions completely gone and they lose by 10. Weird. Anyway, how about Spud of the night for today?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
I mean, I could have given Devin Booker and your man's Dylan the Villain Brooks a bit of a shout as well last time around. Like 32 for Brooks, which is crazy. 33 in 29 minutes for Devin Booker, 7 assists as well. Not bad, but come on, Jalen Johnson and Kongu were just incredible. Spud of the night, though, we've got a new co-leader in the clubhouse for worst shooting performance of the year. Jarris Walker of the Indiana Pacers. Come on up. Hey, there he is. Woo, yeah. He joins Dennis Schroeder, I am Jim Rondo, as the worst shooting performances of the season to date. He went 0 of 10. Yeesh. That is just, yeah, it's pretty gross, isn't it? Like, yeah, pretty gross there, Jim. I'll tell you what. Jim, that's pretty gross. It really is. It really is. Andy Nemhard goes 5 of 15 as well. You had 7 of 19 for Keontae George. I mentioned that one. 5 of 15 for Brandon Spindles Ingram too. We also had a couple of other offers. Keaton Mitchell went 0 of 6. Shvee! What about Shvee? He went 0 of 4. So that's about him. 0 of 2 for Nigel Hayes Davis. I love that too. Good on him. But yeah, some pretty crazy stuff. A very fun day. But no one shot the magic number, I believe. I just had to check that, but the stats haven't quite updated. But I don't think anyone went and shot the magic number on a day that we could send you off into the weekend rocking hard. So I guess we'll just have to go old mate, no mates, yeah?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Ty Lue yesterday. So after Jokic just tore him apart for 55, Ty Lue was like, yeah, our game plan was to make him score. I didn't think he'd score 55. It's like, have you watched him play, Ty? What, you're trying to guard him with John Collins and Ivica Zubac. Like, what are you doing? What do you think's going to happen? Oh, we figured we'd let him score. Don't make it so easy, idiot. What are you doing? Could you imagine the rest of that team hearing that press conference and going, hey, Ty, that was our game plan? Did you think about the game plan more than once? It sounds cool. Yeah, we'll let him score. We'll stop everybody else. It doesn't matter if he's dropping 55 on your head, because that's a problem, because he's wildly efficient. Jesus. Anyway, obviously Nico Harrison as well, but we'll talk about him again in a second. What about pantsing of the night? Ooh-wee, Nick Richards absolutely deleted a Naismith dunk before he got injured. Holy moly. He just met him at the rim and just went, no. But my favorite today is Oso! It was so good. Oso Iguodaro absolutely yammed one on Jay Huff's head. Oh, boy. Jay Huff and Paint, they call him after that one, because that's the only way he's going to have to deal with that the rest of his life. Jesus. Oh, so good. Oh, I'll tell you what. Who was better than Bronny James today?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, and Ben Simmons today is Naquan Tomlin. Who? That's right, he had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, went 8 of 10 from the floor, did a lot of the dirty work and the heavy lifting for the Cleveland. That's right, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cleveland!
Absolutely crushed it. And 18-6 with 2 steals. Not bad. Hey, Vic Krejci, as I mentioned, he might just never miss again. He hit 6 more threes today. Went 6 of 8. That's just absurd. Ends up with 20 points and 3 steals. But also, so in addition to his sick bloody dunk deleting Jay Huff out of all, collective NBA memory, he's just been wiped from existence, I think, after that game. But also had 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks in 26 minutes. Oh, so good was oh, so awesome, tying the 3rd highest single game plus minus in NBA history of plus 52 in 26 minutes. That's absurd. And that is very clearly better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, all put together. Ah, jeez. That was pretty bloody good. What about everyone's favourite for our Friday? It's going to be the Magic Tweet of the Week. Hanging out with one of the greatest that's ever laced him up. 3-time NBA champion, 2-time Hall of Fame, and 3-time NBA MVP, Larry Bird, a.k.a. Larry Legend. Larry and I want to thank Bill Huffman Nuveen, CEO, I guess, for inviting us together today. We delivered an incredible motivational session to over 300 of the top Nuveen clients from around the world about teamwork, preparation, a winning attitude, and a championship mindset! There will never be another basketball player like Larry Bird. Okay. Thanks, Magic. He's not wrong, but wow, the Nuveen CEO, like just forking out cash to go hang out with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I'm not going to argue. I'd do the same thing. All right, finally, Dickhead of the Week.
Dickhead of the Week!
It's Nico Harrison. Like, everybody just reveling in him being fired. Like, that is just, when there's such a collective disdain for you and what you've done, and everyone just going, look at all the dumb shit this dude did, and everybody just going, yeah, if anyone ever did deserve to get just shit canned, it's this guy. He sucks. And like when they keep raking up all the other things, like getting Dirk on the outer, like getting rid of him out of Dallas, basically. Casey Smith firing him as he's away looking after his like dying mother by text. What the fuck? The Luka trade, but even shit like the Q Grimes trade and getting Caleb Martin, the dried injured husk of Caleb Martin back, whereas Q Grimes is a fucking legitimate actual NBA player and scorer. Unbelievably dumb shit. So yeah, full-blown Dickhead of the Week award. Like, he's got to be a Dickhead Hall of Famer, I think, Nico Harrison, right? Like, we're not going to call it it's the Draymond Green Memorial Dickhead of the Week award. But I feel like if we have a GM award that we're going to give out that is like the GM Dumb Fuck Award of the Year, it's going to be the Nico Harrison GM Dumb Fuck of the Year award, right? I think we have to make that official. All right, there you go. Let's get into some yeah-nos right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
and you're
Straya.
listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
Let's do some yeah-nahs brought to you by you. That's right. You can support the show by buying us a coffee, buying us a beer. You can join up to it's basically our version of a Patreon, right? It's buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. It is very simple and easy to donate or join the membership tier, which basically shouts us a beer once a month. Jump around that if you can. Thanks to all the legends who've already signed up. They get an exclusive show every month or so. I got absolutely smashed by time this week, so I didn't get to put it up. So bear with us. It should be a good one. We're going to go through the worst trades in NBA history according to me, which is really fun. So those ones are much more sort of evergreen, just cool thoughts, and I just talk it out. And it's really fun. So those are exclusive specifically to the Dead Set Legends Club, which you can sign up and join. If you basically, if you buy us a beer, you get added to the Dead Set Legends Club. So go do that. Go check it out. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. The link is in the show description. It's in our bios on the socials as well. Right. Yeah, nah time. Let's do it. Does AD in Chicago make sense, Jim? Yeah, nah. I actually kind of do think it makes sense because Anthony Davis, I think Chicago might be the smoke and mirrors team, right? I was sort of like, pushing a bit of caution early on about just how good they are. And they lose Giddey for a couple of games after he twists his ankle after DeAndre Hunter put him in the blender. It was brutal. But of course, like you just look into like the very basic like advanced number. They're 19th in offense and they're 17th on defense. I think, especially defensively, like AD would be a tremendous upgrade over anything that they've kind of had at power forward. And if you've got this sort of like super duper sized lineup all of a sudden, we've got Buzelis and Giddey. If you're keeping Vooch in this trade, like I feel like it still kind of works with AD because Vooch we know can shoot from the outside a little bit. It lets AD sort of, protect the rim. It's a really interesting mix. The biggest problem is Anthony Davis is made of bird bones, old like dust, and like clag. That's all that's holding him together. There's nothing actual like human skeletal remains, I think, left in his body. So I don't know. Which is also brings up the sort of idea, hey Jim, are the Mavs going to get much in return if they do decide to trade Anthony Davis? Yeah, nah. They're not going to get fucking Luka Doncic, that's for sure. Right? But the thing is, you look at a team like Chicago, who own all of their first. They also have one extra first coming from Portland, which they'll get this year if Portland do make the playoffs. And Portland do look like one of that sort of strange mid-tier of West teams that could be fighting for that 10 through 6, 7 through 10 spots, right? The play-in spots. And so if that does then transfer over to Chicago, I mean, suddenly you can put together an interesting sort of package if it's going to be a couple of other bigger contracts. Like if you've got Patch Williams, you can finally just get rid of him. 2 firsts? If you're Chicago, giving that to Dallas for Anthony Davis. A soon-to-be 30... That's too much, isn't it? Like 2 firsts. How about the Portland one and your own one this year? Right? That's a bit risky because this year's draft is loaded. So maybe the Portland one this year and yours next year? Just in case you got Anthony Davis, he doesn't play again this year because he gets hurt again because he's, again, Anthony Davis. Maybe that's a way, like that's 2 firsts. Like, are you going to get more? Right? I think the sheer risk of bringing in Anthony Davis, who's always hurt, is really going to put a cap on what you're going to get in return for him. Like, I can't see a team go, yeah, unprotected first. Here's 3 of them for Anthony Davis at 33 years old. Right? That's just franchise malpractice if you're doing that at this point. So there's got to be there are deals out there, but I feel like Chicago is a really good one. The Clippers is a pretty funny one. Because as I said on the short yesterday, Clippers and Anthony Davis, would you do that? Yeah, nah, no. Because look, you want an injury-prone big man? On the LA Clippers? What could possibly go wrong? Except, oh yeah, that's right, everything ever. Because that's always what's happened. Every time. Even Brad Beal went there, boom, out for the season, right? You can't send him to the Clippers. He might just like drive his car off a cliff by accident and just like, that's just the Clippers. Like, who knows? Like, as I said yesterday, and like Looney Tunes anvil could fall on him. Like, who knows what would go on there? So you can't do that. But I feel like someone like Chicago is fascinating for the simple fact of like, you've got all these movable parts. You do have a couple of firsts that you can throw their way to sweeten the deal. Get a couple of youngish kind of players in there. You actually get a ball handler like AO. Possibly AO, Patch, what? Just their big problem is like, yeah, Giddey and Buzelis are your untouchables. They probably don't want Vooch back, so you got to patch together everything else, ironically enough. But I feel like it would make sense because he would really, really help the Bulls once he got back and healthy. But anyway, would you even trade AD? I'm going to talk about that in a second. Does Zion being back help the Pelicans, Jim? Yeah, well, he's being, cleared for basketball activities. It helps them shop him. That's for sure, right? You can't shop a broken down Zion. You're talking about Anthony Davis. What are people going to give up for Zion Williamson who just never plays, right? So you're stuck, like, talk about rock and hard place. It will help the Pelicans. Just the balance of their roster is just so completely off kilter right now. They just need like any sort of injection of like playmaking and a bit of extra talent. Zion will definitely help, but yeah, that team still stinks. Like, we saw them in the preseason when they came to Australia. Like, that is just... There's a couple of interesting bits and bobs of that team, but Willie, I think, just might have run his course. And if Zion could play just like some games in a row, we might find out what that team is, but I just don't know if that's ever going to happen. There's an interesting one from Charles Barkley. Man, Nico's a scapegoat. Is Nico a scapegoat? Yeah, no, that's not what a scapegoat is. If you did the thing and get blamed for it, you're not a fucking scapegoat. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, ownership have to actually sign off on these things. Of course they do. But he brought the entire fucking thing to ownership. It was conceived of, executed by Nico fucking Harrison. He's the one who sold it to ownership. He's the one who came up with the idea. He's the one who made sure it actually fucking happened. And he's also the one who didn't shop Luka around, having made the decision, hey, we probably need to trade Luka. And you get a fucking 6-year-old, 6 years older, broken down big man in return and one single fucking first round pick. Oh, Max Christie, Jim Shush. Yeah, he should be blamed for a shit return. Patrick Dumont, fucking baby Gerber dipshit face over there, didn't negotiate the trade. He signed off on it, like the concept of like, yeah, look, hey, if you reckon that's the right thing to do, Nico, then you do it, sir. Nico, the fuckwit, goes out and gets an absolute fucking shit sandwich in return for one of the great players we've got in this league. Yeah, you can fucking blame him for being a dipshit and making a horrible, all-time boneheaded trade. So yeah, he's not a scapegoat, because if you did the thing, the fuck up, guess what? You deserve the blame. A scapegoat is someone where it's like, oh, we'll hold them up here as an example. They can cop all the flack. Yeah, Nico did all the shit that deserved all the flack. So I don't know what to tell you. Finally, Matty G had a good one. Hey, Jim, is the Rooster, Jock Landale, playing his way on into a trade for a contender when Zach Edey gets back? This is a good one. Because I think Jock has been very, very solid there for Memphis, to the point where I think, talk about, again, rock and hard place. He's got a big role at the moment, and it's probably a little bit much for him, to be honest. I think we've sort of seen he's put up fine numbers. And I feel like if you let Jock get on a roll like he is right now, let him play a bunch of minutes and sort of just really fucking put in the work, he'll reap the rewards. Your team will reap the rewards. But the thing is, he's probably still best used as like a backup big. The rim protection numbers, etc., stuff like that, are always probably going to hurt him. He's also not that young, but by the same token, there are a lot of teams out there that could use a dude of his skill set, his size as a backup big. Some of those, like someone like Cleveland, could really use, despite having Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, sometimes they do somehow feel small. It's very weird. Obviously, Boston, like Cater, and like the fact that Josh Minot, like they're playing a lot. It's like a lot of Luka Garza, I think I'd probably still rather Jock. I don't know. I mean, Miami could use another big, right, with Bam out for a little bit, Kalal Ware, and then just shit tons of question marks. The Knicks, like their backup big situation is sneakily kind of shit house. Like if Mitch Robinson isn't out there, it gets like, oh, Cat, Mitch, and woo boy. That's Ariel Akporti's music. The Pacers, as we saw today, right? Like, oh, but Jay Huff, yeah, he's... Anyway, but they're not really a contender, are they? The other ones, like, but that's kind of like the list, right? The list of actual contenders that kind of need a backup big is actually a little bit lighter on the ground. Like Detroit have got all their big dudes. The Sixers, Adam Boner, and like their guys seem fine. Atlanta's got a Kongwu. Actually, to be honest, with Zinger in and out and a Kongwu just like kicking ass. Maybe the Hawks. Miami's the really, really obvious one for me. Chicago, look, they've obviously still got Lockie Ulbrich. They've got Noah Essengay. It does feel like they don't really have like a good backup to Vooch, though. It's always weird. It's like, this is too much Jalen Smith. What are we doing? In the West, OKC are fine. They've just got depth. They're 12-1. Their second best players and played this year. Like, what are we doing? Denver have got my name is Jonas. The Spurs have got big dudes. The Rockets just big everywhere. The Lakers. the Lakers could definitely use a Jock Landale. Jackson Hayes, sure. DeAndre Ayton, sure. Get Jock in there. Off we go. Blazers have already got 70 bigs. The Suns, I don't know if they're a contender, but yeah. I feel like he might be, once Edie does get back, maybe he becomes a bit of a trade chip that Memphis can use, but I just don't know if it'll happen. All right, let's do the week 4 power rankings.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look
So
at
we did
me.
this as a short yesterday. Go check it out on YouTube or across the socials. So we quickly sort of blast through it all. But as it stands, we talk like the Friday show. We sort of have this bit and sort of talk it out a bit more. The super shithouse tier is an obvious one. That's all the bad teams. Oh, duh! That's Brooklyn. They are so bad. So, like, no Cam Thomas, and it's like how like they look a little bit better to watch, but they're still getting their heads absolutely kicked in. They're 1-10. The Pelicans are 2-9, and it feels like they're not even that competitive, right? Like it is. They've got dudes. Like they've got more dudes than Brooklyn do. But wow, do they suck. The Washington Wizards are 1-11. And they've at least got this interesting, strange mix of like the, Keyshawn George, Bub Carrington, Alexander Sars of the world that mix with CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton when he's around. They're sort of interesting mix, and they're still, again, getting their heads kicked in. To the point where you go, yeah, I guess like we're all tanking for this year. Basically, because we know that the draft is like loaded. But Brian Keefe, the Wizards coach, at some point you just go, what are they doing? Like, you watch a Wizards game, you're like, do they know each other? I don't know. At least with Jordy Fernandez and the Brooklyn Nets, like Jordy sometimes seems to have a plan. I don't know if the Wizards do. The bad but better tier, that'll be the Pacers. They're now 1-11. They are bad, but they are a little bit better now that they've got Nembhard and they've got TJ McConnell back. Naismith going back out though. Jeez, what a kick in the dick that is, right? The Charlotte Hornets, I had them in the super shithouse tier yesterday. They are a little bit better than this Pacers team right now, right? They're 4-7. They got a good win the other day. And the Hornets, look, with the Conker nipple, LaMelo coming back, Brandon Spindles Miller still on the shelf. LaMelo might be back this weekend. Just keep an eye on that. But they beat the Bucks the other day without Giannis. But, you still get wins. That's good. They've beaten the Bucks, the Yaz, the Wiz, and the Nets. So they're literally only beating the shittest teams in the NBA or a Bucks team without Giannis, a.k.a. one of the shittest teams in the NBA. But the Hornets at least have like sort of some structure there with Conker, Miles Bridges, LaMelo, Sion James has been really good. Kalkbrenner has been fantastic. They're bad, but they are kind of like getting a little bit better. Once they get LaMelo back, like they will be better than probably those bottom 4 teams. The Jazz, it's a soft J. They're the bad but better tier as well, right? So they get Isaiah Collier back, which suddenly really, really fortifies their second unit. Also plays with the starters. Just sort of, they had, one thing I didn't mention in the game up today, they had 1 million turnovers, like 23, 24 turnovers. They got obliterated in points off turnovers as well. But Collier will help with that. Keontae George, his efficiency is always going to be this weird, vacillating, sort of like whirring machine of just what the fuck's going to happen today kind of vibe. But Lowry's awesome. So maybe they trade him. I don't know what's going to happen. But losing Kessler means that they probably just go, cool, Q in the rack, peace. On the season. And the Kings, bad but better. They are 3-9 and wow, do they sucked. Just, they can't sort of seem to stay healthy. That team is just loss horrible, right? Rusty out there, Levine out there, Suvlaki King out there doing stuff as well, but their defense stinks. They just are brutal to watch as well. Like how this team went from the fun, fires a loser team 2 years ago to this abysmal, like just kicking the dick. Time after time, who knows? They're just kind of bad tier. So the Raptors were on this because I didn't know if they could win away from home. They have now moved up into what the fuck's going on here? Territories. So they're just kind of bad tier as the LA Clippers because they got absolutely fucking schlacked by the Denver Nuggets and the 55 points from Jokic. And the Grizzlies. They're my just kind of bad teams. The Grizzlies are just kind of shithouse. The Clippers have lost 6 in a row. They don't have Brad Beal. Kawhi. He's disappeared, probably to go plant trees and told fucking nobody. But they suck. Like, the fact that Harden and Zoobs are just there and they still can't win games is wildly concerning for the Clippers, right? It's crazy. And the Grizzlies, they're 4-9. Jara's been back. He missed the game the other day. They've lost 3 on the trot. They look completely discombobulated. Like, their wings, like, yeah, the injuries suck, but jeez. Thomas Isalo. Hey, man, I'm from Europe. I know shit. It's like, how did that work for David Blatt, motherfuckers? Anyway, the Grizzlies just flat out bad at the moment. Like, you watch them and you're like, why aren't you better? It's like, well, we don't have good players. And you're like, okay, I'll pay that. The fire their dumb GM tier. And also, they're still shit. That's Dallas. Yeah, not being able to get a win after firing Nico. After coming like out of the gates fucking super hot the other day against Phoenix, like what, 6 threes from Clay, and you blow that game still anyway. They're 3-9 and they're just brutal. Geez, defense wins championships. Here's D'Angelo Russell, our point guard. You're like, wait. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah, D'Lo, not a big defensive guy. Anyway, Dallas, yes, they fired their big dumb idiot moron GM. So they're on that tier. The WTF is going on here tier. And this is the interesting teams. Because there's like a lot of fucking interesting shit going on here. Toronto. I feel like when they're healthy, as I said, and they're at home, they're really good. Sometimes though on the road, it just goes fucking sideways really quickly. But again, you saw them today. They were just really good, really big, and took care of Cleveland. It was awesome. The Hawks, what the fuck's going on here? Are they good? Look out. They look fantastic. Same goes for the Suns. These are a couple of teams where you're just like, ooh-wee. Their games are really kind of fun and exciting and strange. And you're just like, there's a little something going on. They got a bit of shit to them. The Magic and the Wolves are the other two teams in this tier. Where the Magic, like the Desmond Bain game winner the other day, was absolutely wild. But also, they got one win over the Celtics. They lost to the Celtics in the previous game. There's like losing Paolo at this exact fucking moment in time, though, is just so fucking classically typical of this Magic team, right? Just stay healthy. That's all we ask. Please get him back. Please look after him. What the fuck's going on there? There's just some shit to him. I just want to see that actually have a bit of runway. But now that they don't have Paolo, this is going to be a lot of Franz, a lot of Desmond Bain, and they might be better for it for a little bit as well. Just keep an eye on that team. And the Wolves, now they've got Ant-Man back, they're just out there curb stomping teams again. So, yeah, they're pretty bloody good. What the fuck's going on there? We're about to find out. I said, I think in the short, the next 2 weeks of the Wolves are going to be fascinating. I think they could just absolutely kick some ass and take some names. All right, I guessed here. This is the Miami Heat, who have these games where you're like, wow, they're good. And then other games where you're like, oh, God, they suck. Right? They had one of those suck games yesterday against Cleveland, and you kind of came out of there going, again, what are they doing? They got absolutely smashed by the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday. Like, Norm Powell's awesome. Khalil Ware's got some shit to him. Wiggins, sure, but wow. Wow. If Hero comes back, they could probably rise up. The Celtics, look, big win over Washington the other day as well. Big wins, just sort of big win over Memphis. They're all right, I guess. If the threes are going in, they look unreal. Cleveland, all right, I guess. That was a tough loss today on a back-to-back, though. So they go from Miami back home to Cleveland, take on a Toronto team that's rested. Just a tough ask. I think they're all right, I guess. Donnie Mitchell, Mobley. As long as like Garland, just the injuries suck. The Warriors, they're all right, I guess. That was a big win against the Spurs yesterday. So they're all right, I guess. The defense needs a bit of work, but I think they're all right. Fun and good, Portland. Yes. Shaden Sharp, Denny, Ute Master, Avdija. The Ute Master. I love him. Chicago, giddy up. They're really fun when Gids plays. They are not as much fun when he does not. We have Milwaukee next. When Giannis is there, they're like Ryan Rollins is causing fucking havoc. Miles Turner is like a perfect fit next to Giannis. They're fun and good. Like Bucks games are kind of fun and good to watch again. It's kind of like Kuzma's like has these moments you're like, hey, that's Kyle Kuzma doing stuff. Shit. The Sixers, of course, they're fun and good. When Maxey and Edgecombe are on, it's fucking radical. You get McCain healthy, Who knows what's going to happen to this team? Embiid he's already injured again, so fucking just piss him off. Like, who cares? The rest of that team's awesome. His name is Boner. The Detroit basketballing Pistons are on top of the East, and they are pretty bloody good. That's what this tier is, right? I've currently got them. You could probably switch them and the Knicks at the moment, but the Detroit Pistons winning without Cade Cunningham and any of their other starters the other day was fucked. They beat Chicago yesterday with none of their starters. It's absurd. That's how fucking pretty bloody good they are. We've then got the Spurs. They're pretty bloody good, but they did lose to the Warriors yesterday, but Wemby just makes them just pretty bloody good. The Lakers, they have reached the top 5. They are pretty bloody good, and they're getting LeBron back soon. Look out now. Then we had the Knicks in that tier as well. They probably get pinged now. They probably slip behind both the Lakers, Spurs, Pistons in the pretty bloody good tier, especially without Jalen Brunson. We'd probably knock them down to the next tier, but for the minute, we'll put them in, let's say, 7th, right? We'll move the Pistons up to, is that? Yeah, that's 7. So Knicks in 7, Pistons in 6, Spurs 5, Lakers 4, and then the top 3, which is title winner good. That's the tier. It's the Rockets. They are just so big, so dominant. Their three-point shooting's off the charts. Their rebounding percentages are off the fucking charts because they're bigger than everybody. Like, it's awesome. Reed Shepherd, he's showing a little bit of something. They're radical. The Denver Nuggets, Jokic just goes out and drops 55 on your head. I'm going to talk about him again in a second, but wow. They're so, like, even without Cam Johnson doing too much, like Jamal Murray sort of doing his little things here and there, they're just terrifying. They're so good and so deep now. And of course, the title winner, like they could be just in a fucking tier by themselves. The Oklahoma City Thunder. It's unfair. They're so deep. They're so good. Like AJ Mitchell just turns into another fucking sweet shooting wing who just never misses. They don't have their second best player. And they're fucking 10-1. 12-1. Jeez, what am I saying? They're insane. I tipped them to go for over 70 wins this season, not expecting J-Dub to miss the first 13 games. Doesn't matter. They're 12-1. They are in a tier by themselves called terrifyingly fuck you good. We're going to win it again, you idiots. It's not a bad tier. So what do you reckon after 4 weeks? That's where we're at. All right, quick Outback Takehouse. It's Friday at Outback. You know what that means. 4-for-1 TGIF oil drum cans full of icy cold Foster's Lager. That's right, it's Australian for beer again. They're not that bad either. Bloody hell. Get one of those giant cans. It's just a cold-ass lager. It's not great, not shithouse either. So go get one in you, I guess. Only at Outback. And today's Flame Girl take is Dallas shouldn't fucking trade AD just yet. Settle the fuck down. Like, why would you trade him now? Like, just get him back out there, see what you've actually got. It seems wild to at least not see what this team can do with Anthony Davis next to Cooper Flagg, with their big centers, with their big wings like Najee Marshall and PJ Hamilton, Washington, and Clay. The problem is they just don't have a fucking point guard, right? So I guess, look, don't trade AD right now. Stop being silly. Just fucking take a sip of settle down juice. That's all I ask. Because you own your pick this year. So trade AD because you're still shit, right? You're 3-9 at the moment. It is going to be a pretty crazy race to the bottom this year. And I don't think Dallas, as presently constructed, without an actual fucking proper point guard, really have that much chop. So you get AD back. You play him into shape. You'll probably keep losing. You give it a month or two, you get to February, then you fucking trade him. Just everybody settle the fuck down. Everybody's like the vultures circling going, we got to trade AD, trade Kyrie, trade everybody. It's like, just fucking chill. You're still shit. Trade Clay at some point. Trade AD at some point if you want. If you want to go hard reset, cool. Or if you see that there's like a glimmer or something with Cooper Flagg and AD next to Derek Lively or whatever, awesome. Keep them. Just the settle down juice. Everybody fucking chill. All right, Australian Player Watch. Only a couple of the Aussies in action today because there was only 3 games, obviously. But I'll tell you what, Tyrese Proctor and Luke Travers today. Travers got out there for 2 minutes and he had a steal. It was a +4. Didn't hit a shot though. Tyrese had 7 points, went 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 5 from downtown. So he's 7 points, 1 assist, 2 fouls in 11 minutes. Not bloody bad for Tyrese. The proctologist. Obviously still no Johnny Furphy for the Pacers at the minute as he's recuperating from his, what was an ankle, wasn't it? Ankle injury. He's out for a while, they say. But obviously at the end of the day, we had Dyson Daniels going up against the Utah Jazz. He had 2 points on 2 shots, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 0 turnovers, 1 steal. 65 straight games now for Dyson Daniels with a steal. That's bloody good. 4 fouls in 27 minutes. Yeah, not bad. He and Nick Alexander-Walker, though, just try playing against them. It's fucking absurd. What about an Andrew Gaze Gray MAMBA Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence? Because we've got a couple of good, fun stats from the last day or two with this one.
It's the first annual Andrew Gaze Gray MAMBA.
Outstanding achievement here.
The Field of
Excellence. This is going to go to Nikola Jokic, who in his last 10 games is averaging a 30, 13, and 11 with an 82% true shooting percentage. Now, I'm no math magician, but 82% true shooting is fucking stupid. The other one is he's also the first player to ever average a 35-point triple-double while shooting 60% from the floor over the last 6 games. So he's averaging, in the last 6, 35.8 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and shooting 73.9% from the floor. So other people have done the 35-plus point triple-double over a span of 6 games, but not shooting 60+% from the fucking floor. And the other one, Steph Curry yesterday, he's hit 46 points. That puts him second all-time in the 40-plus point games when you've been older than 35 years old, right? The list is LeBron with 15, Steph Curry and Michael fucking Jordan now at 12. Not bad. I was going to do a little bit of a G League update as well for Lockie Olbrick and Rocco. I mean, Alex Tui hasn't gotten out there, but Rocco 15-3-3 in his debut. 4-7 with a couple of blocks in the next one. Lockie Olbrick has been looking really good, though, for the Windy City Bulls, so keep an eye on that. He had 24, 15, and 4 in his debut. 15, 7, and 7 in the second game. So, crushing it. The Windy City Bulls have got a lot of people looking at them, which is always fun. All right, what about a bit of a Paddy Mills Game Day Ball or Game Day Twitter check-in before we get into a bit of the weekend preview? What's Paddy been up to? There's been a lot going on for Paddy, I reckon. He's got the Hawaii games. There we go. Tailgating Hawaii men's basketball opening night. Outside the Stan Sheriff tailgating before opening night of UH men's basketball. So they're having some chips and dip. And Paddy's got a sticker on his thing. And he's feeling pretty good. So that's so Team Mills, all right. Good on him. Go Paddy. Go Hawaii. That's rad. All right, let's do some game previews for the weekend. Big NBA Cup day tomorrow, so let's get into that. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Not bad. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty great. Let's go. Remember, you can find all of our daily NBA picks over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya when you sign up. You can sign up using the link in our show description or in our bio. Do that. That way they know that we sent you. So go check it out. We've got all of our same gamers, multis, etc. of all the games that we pick every single day. We are at the moment, let's have a look. After today's results, we are at, so we went 1 of 3 today. We went all the underdogs and only one of them came through. We're at 57.3% for the year against the spread. So that's awesome. Just saying. Right, tomorrow, NBA Cup time. We've got some ripper games in here too. Miami at the Knicks. So Knicks without Brunson. Miami plus 4.5. I'm probably going to take the Heat. They just play tough. Yes, they got smashed the other day, but the Knicks, no Jalen Brunson. I feel like the Heat might have a little bit of a shot at actually winning this one. So I'm going to take the plus 4.5 for Miami. Brooklyn, go to Orlando. And it's a 14.5 point line for the Orlando Magic. And I'm still not taking Brooklyn plus 14.5 because remember, this is the NBA Cup, right? If you're smashing a team, you have to keep smashing them because point differential matters. And Brooklyn are so bad that Orlando, look, yes, they lose Paolo, but I think you've got Franz. As long as you've got Suggs and Bane out there as well, they can really still put the hurt on the net. So I'm going to go the Orlando Magic. Philly at Detroit. Fascinating game. Philly are 5.5 point underdogs in Detroit, and I think I might actually take Philly. Yes, Detroit are awesome. Detroit are playing really tough-nosed basketball. I think Philly can at least hang with them for this. We've seen it already this season. I'm going to take the Sixers plus 5.5. Detroit, look, they got, a night off for Cade the other day. Even if he's back, I'm still taking the Sixers. Portland go to Houston. Now, the Rockets are 8.5 point favorites in this. This is like the, the Dame Lillard sort of special, the Brandon Roy playoff series. The Blazers, I think, can hang with a lot of these teams. It's going to be a tough ask to hang with Houston, but I think 8.5 is probably 2 or 3 points too much. So I'll take Portland plus 8.5. I still expect Houston to win that one. It should be a really close one, I reckon. Charlotte, Milwaukee. I'm going to go the Bucks minus 10.5 because, again, if you smash a team, you've got to keep smashing them. Charlotte, their defense is just no good. So we're going to go the Bucks. Sacramento in Minnesota. This is another smashing sort of situation. It's a 12.5 point line. And look, the Kings on the road, Minnesota, they've got their dudes. I think they demolish and berate this Kings team where, like, Doug Christie, the wheels are coming off. Like, it feels very bad there in Sacramento. Lakers, Pelicans, again, we're going to go the big favorite. They're 10.5 point favorites, the Lakers, between Reeves and Luka. I think they could really put the hurt on the Pelicans, who just, they have these games where they just do not show up. Clippers, Dallas. This is an interesting one. Clippers in Dallas, 3.5 point favorites. I'm going to take Dallas plus 3.5. Look, Harden, Zoobs, a couple of those wings, they might be able to hang with them, but I'll take the plus 3.5. I think this one could be close. And if it's not, I think Dallas can win it. So I'll take the plus 3.5. And the other one is San Antonio, Golden State. That's a ripper game again. We saw it the other day. This time it's in San Antonio. I'm going to go the Spurs minus 2.5. I think Wemby really puts the hurt on. Sunday we have, I think, 5 more games as well. Memphis at Cleveland. We'll take Cleveland in that. Then we have OKC and Charlotte. We're going to take the Thunder. Toronto at Indy. We're still going the Raptors. That's a bit of a Pascal Siakam revenge game against his old team, but I don't think it'll matter. Toronto are too good and too big. Lakers, Milwaukee. Awesome game. Lakers on a road back-to-back. I might take the Bucks. Fascinating game, though, that one, isn't it? How real are the Lakers? Then Denver, Minnesota. Again, another ripper one. I'm going to go Denver in that one with Minnesota on a back-to-back. Denver, yes, on the road, but I think they'll still be a little bit too good. So there you go. Keep an eye on all the double stuff for all the picks for tomorrow, especially for Sundays as well. I'll have the double picks there so you can see them against the line and what we're going. But there you go. That is it for the week. What a week it was. I hope you're following all the shorts on YouTube as well. As I mentioned, we're going to try to get them up as video podcasts on Spotify as of next week as well. So keep an eye on that way. Look, we're still daily. I'm just trying to do the big shows that take a little bit more effort and a little bit more of my time, and the sort of like 5-10 minute little shorts over on YouTube. So go check those out. It's been a fun sort of week. It's been pretty crazy. The Nico stuff was hilarious. So yeah. In the meantime though, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Jump in the comments, send us DMs, send us nahs, get involved, give us a yell, get around the other shows as well. Jim does Supercoach. We're top 1% in both NBA Supercoach and NFL Supercoach. You'd bloody well hope so, of course, but yeah, we are. So that's good. And NFL Straya as well is absolutely flying at the moment. Gaz and I are having lots of fun. Check out, rate, review, star, subscribe, all the stuff that you have to do for podcasts. You know what to do. Your podcast app, give it 5 stars, rate it, review it, help a brother out, jump in the comments as well. It'd be very, very, very much appreciated. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song as well, of course. Big thanks to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sextra, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Go support them on your music streaming platform of choice, whichever one you use. Support Australian bands. NBA Straya supports Australian bands, so should you. All right, that's it. We're going to chuck the newest Cooking with Bainesy on the end of this one if you've not heard it already. And we'll catch you on Sunday night, you dickheads. Actually, oh no, we're not going to do Sunday night. I'm going to be at ACDC. This will be a Monday morning show, I reckon. We'll just sort of wrap up Saturday and Sunday on Monday morning for you. Just FYI. Unless I come home steaming from Akadaka and just want to say some shit about basketball. I'm going to be at the hotel at Trentham on Sunday saying good day to Chris, and then going home to go to ACDC. solo parenting this week as well. So we're going to be a little bit slipshod. So I think I'll do it Monday morning and go from there. All right? Sweet. All right. This is NBA Straya saying, look, we'll catch you then, you dickheads. Just look after yourselves, would you? And later, hosen. And now it's time for Cooking with Bainesy with your host, Aaron Baggers Baines. All right. Get it. Hey, settle down. It's been a while. We're back here with a brand new season of Cooking with Bainesy, where I, Aaron Bangers Bainesy Baines, cook you up a bloody... Oh, look at that. There's Cheryl. Oh, I've missed Cheryl. G'day, Cheryl. Oh, yeah, just settle down now, love. All right. Now, look, we've taken a bit of time off from Cooking with Bainesy, but we are back with a vengeance. And how is that going to manifest? We are going to deliver to you today my easy recipe for the best bloody cupcake you will ever eat in your bloody life. It's simple as that, I'm just saying. So strap in, get your aprons on, get all your mixing stuff out, and let's bloody do it. What you're going to need is you're going to need some butter. You're going to need some chocolate, the cooking chocolate. You're going to need some cocoa powder. You're going to need a half cup of milk, a little bit of veggie oil. That's the little secret one. You need a couple of eggs, some vanilla extract, and a little bit of white vinegar. So we're going to chuck them all. We're going to basically preheat your oven. Then what we're going to do is you're going to put 12 of your little cupcake liners into a cupcake tin. Then you put the butter and the chocolate in a big bowl. You microwave that for a second. And then you do it again for another 30 seconds until it's all melted and smooth. And just make sure it's all nice and melty. You chuck in the cocoa powder. You chuck in the... Mix it up. And then you chuck in the milk and your oil and your eggs and your vanilla and your vinegar. And then you whisk it. You whisk her up. Look at this. Oh, look. Oh, I better have a taste. Oh, it's bloody good. Chuck in your flour. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's bloody good. Oh, make sure there's no lumps in that. Then you put it all in the cupcake liners. Yep, there you go. Tippity top. That's a beauty. There you go. Oh, a bit of sport. Bit spilled out. Better eat that one up. Boom. I can, I just use a ladle for this one sometimes. Sometimes you can just use a spatula. All that sort of good gear. Just fill them up to about 3/4 because they're going to expand, aren't they? Yeah. Just like me after a few tins and a bit of brisket. But anyway, you bake them for about 18-20 minutes. Don't forget to crack a tin. Oh, there you go. Bang, and you use a little skewer just to check if they're cooked and done. And then chuck them out. And Bob is your bloody uncle. You can do some frosting on the top as well if you want. All you need for that is some cocoa powder, some butter, some icing sugar, and a bit of milk. Whisk all that together. And then bang, chuck that on top and let her cool down and she will be bloody good. And there you go. Those are some of the single best bloody chocolate cupcakes you will have in your bloody life. That's right. The NBA, the NBL, I can tell you, it's no cupcake league unless you make the bloody cupcakes yourself, you legends. There you go. So that's all I got time for today. Until next time, this has been Cooking with Bainesy.